Hey, what's up, Jason? This is a quick demo video for you for your Sabertrio solo guard. This came to me actually this afternoon. I got right to work on it. You had a factory install from Sabertrio. It was one of their older Proffie installs, so there was nothing wrong with it. It did have a slide chassis, so it only slid out so much, so you could get to the board and your kill switch, and then you had some regular 7-pin connectors in here. So I swapped all of those out for the Carl Chen V4 pixel connectors that you sent me. Still have all of your blade plugs right here, so your two small ones for your quillions and your big one. They're Neopixel blade plugs. You can still use them like this. It's not going to hurt anything, or you can feel free to take these out and use them for something else, and you can just use the hollow plugs, obviously, since you have some LEDs on these PCBs now. All right, we retained your 2-button setup, so power right here. Auxiliary is a little dome tactile switch. And then let me get my battery real quick. How to get to your chassis, just unscrew your pommel. All right, take your pommel off here without dropping it, hopefully, and then your chassis will just slide right out into your hand. So you had asked for a black carbon fiber chassis, so that's what I did here. The top of the chassis here, you've got your Proffie board, access to your SD card and your micro USB, a kill switch right in front of the board, a removable battery set up here, so spring side please for the negative side of your battery. I have a 20 pixel accent strip right underneath here, underneath some diffusion, and then I have another 20 pixel accent strip over here. Sometimes when I do these guys, I will take the screw from the Covertech and I'll shave it down. I chose not to do that this time, so what I did instead is I put this groove in the side of your chassis right here. You can see it running all the way from one end to the other. That is that's clearance for the screw on your Covertech wheel. All right. All I did for that, just to accommodate, is I off-centered the speaker a little bit. You've got a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost dark side speaker. All right, so let's throw a battery in this guy. For now, you've got one sound font on here. It's a Kylo sound font from the SD card. There is a copy of the config file that I used on the SD card, so you can build from that. All right, but we'll put the battery in. They'll say on and off, and Airbus will just flip it to the on side. So you've got the kit scanner on both sides there. It does ramp up when the saber's on. At the end of the demo, before we turn the saber off, I'll take the chassis out and I will show you that. But they mirror each other. All right. So when you put the chassis in, just find that channel, line it up with the Covertech screw, and your chassis will go right in. And then just come over here, use the other side of the pommel, and screw in your pommel. All right. So we'll do that real quick. And this guy is tightened all the way down. It engages those pins, and then you can hit power. Very loud. Super loud, boy. Auxiliary. I do have the quillions on a delay. So if I hold it like this, you will notice that the main blade fires up before the quillions do. Same for the other side. I don't have 3 blades. I have one 1-inch diameter test blade, so I'll just hold it in and show you that each side works. So that's your main blade. We may have to back these screws up just well, this one actually takes 7/8 inch blade, so let me get my 7/8, put it in here. It's going to look a little silly, but it will fire up. I got that programmed to about 45 LEDs right now. Just wanted to make sure that that lit up for you, depending on what kind of side blades you have. And then the other side over here lights up the same way. It stops about right there where my finger's at, so that's about 45 or so. We'll turn it off like that. All right, and we will. I'll throw these Neopixel blade plugs in real quick so you can see that they work. We'll just lock them down, and then when I lock them down, I'll just leave them in there so I don't forget to send them. All right. So Lock all three of these down. One thing I'll show you on your blade retention screws for your quillions. When you sent me the saber, each side is the same. But if you look up here, that's your blade retention screw. There's another hole, if I can focus. There's another hole right there. It's kind of supposed to be a screw that holds in this sleeve right here, this blade sleeve. So what you do, since you're missing those two screws that hold in the blade sleeve, just don't take your blade retention screw all the way out. If you don't take it all the way out, it still holds in the sleeve and you're good to go. But we've got all of those blade plugs in. So this one lights up, as well as this one and this one. Now you can feel free to leave those as Neopixel blade plugs. You're not hurting anything. It's just not really necessary now that you have those lit PCBs. All right, so let's turn this on and take the chassis off. And that's where you can see those LEDs on the chassis are ramped up when the saber's on until we come over here and turn it off. And it kills power like it should. All right. When you go into the config and you mess around with that and you build from that, don't change what I have for the buttons. I did a little something different for the buttons that isn't the normal run-of-the-mill config because I needed to retain two blade styles up here. So I did a pull-down button system for your auxiliary and your power button. All right. If you just leave that alone in the config and worry about the top half where your sound fonts go, you'll be fine. All right. But if you try to use this config for another saber and you don't change that button setup, it's not going to work. All right. So it is made specifically for this saber. But that is basically your solo guard. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks, Jason.